If you haven't seen the growth you've been looking for, then listen up. If being alone feels uncomfortable, then that's the exact place you need to be right now. I'm gonna share 10 things that I did alone that increased my confidence, my self-worth, and my self-esteem. Now, these things will help you get closer to your ideal self, and they also get increasingly more niche. So take out a notebook just like this and take some notes. Let's go. So number one is starting. Now, you have to start somewhere. You have to start someday. You just have to start anything, anytime. Because you're not always going to have somebody by your side helping you to make the jump, helping you to get started. Sometimes you're going to be alone. And now, before I explain this any further, feel free to check out our private community, Discipline OS, where you surround yourself with winners. And if you do that, then you will be a winner too. It's in the link in the description below. Check that out. And also stay tuned till the end of this video. So now let's talk about the first thing, which is starting. If you haven't taken that initial leap, the initial step, the initial thing that you have to do, then this is your sign to do it. Whether that's a business, whether that's starting the sport, the relationship, or the book, whatever that might be, just start. You need to start right now, because no matter how long you wait, you will never feel ready. The illusion is that you will feel more motivated tomorrow than you are today, but the truth is you are the same version of yourself tomorrow, and you're gonna have the same motivation, the same problems, and starting never gets easier. The water doesn't get any warmer the later you jump. Now, understanding that and realizing that if you start today and success takes you 1 year, then you will have your success in a year. But if you start in 6 months, then it's gonna take you a year and 6 months to get the results that you want, to get that success. So the more you actually delay starting, the more you delay starting self-improvement, starting the habits, starting the business, and actually getting your life together, the more you're gonna push off your success and the results and the life that you know you wanna live. You see, the way I see it, two things can happen right now. You can go for it and take the leap of faith, or you can dwell on what could have been 6 months from now. Every single choice has a sacrifice. Everything has a trade-off. You either go through the pain of starting now, or you go through the pain of regret later. So that is one mindset shift to start off this video. Now, I want you to comment start if you are starting today, and I want you to comment started if you have already started on your path. Now, most people think they're not where they want to be because of circumstance or luck or talent or whatever that might be, but the truth is it is because of discipline. Discipline is the foundation for anything and everything in life. Your level of success never exceeds your level of discipline. Now, I'll talk more about that later. Now, the second thing that you have to do alone is eat at a restaurant alone. For some reason, going and doing things by yourself, eating at a restaurant, going to the cinema, watching movies, or just doing things alone in public, for some reason it feels weird, but it shouldn't feel weird. If you try to do these things, you will start to get self-conscious. You will start overthinking and being like, what if people are judging me? What if people are looking at me? And what if they think this or this or this? But the truth is, nobody is thinking about you. People are thinking about themselves. And if they do think about you, they are thinking about what you are thinking about them. So realize this, eliminate and remove the spotlight effect that you feel and the self-consciousness, and just start to do things alone. This will build up your confidence. The first time I went on, sort of a date with myself, where I just went and had food at a restaurant alone, or I went to the cinema for the first time alone, I started to feel less self-conscious, and it was actually kind of nice, and I started to feel confident. At first, it felt pretty awkward. It felt like everybody was judging me, but the truth is nobody cares. This might sound so simple, but it's actually one of those things that if you do these alone, then it just shows you what type of person that you are, and it builds your character as well. Most people are reliant on external validation from people, from being seen with people, and they just can't be by themselves. And if you can't be alone, then you're never really gonna truly enjoy somebody else's company. It all starts with self-love, and self-love starts with being able to be alone and do things alone, and just try it out and you will see. So if you're enjoying videos like these, then let me know in the comments below and subscribe to the channel. Post videos like these every week. Number 3, the third thing you need to do alone, number 3, is go to an event where you know nobody. It is easy to go to a place or a event or social event or gathering where you know everybody, right? But as soon as you don't know anybody, you are going to have to introduce yourself to people, shake hands and talk about deals and talk about yourself and introduce yourself. And now this is beyond your comfort zone. And if you can do this alone, then you will start to develop confidence and self-esteem. And I'm a firm believer that confidence is the key to the success you want. If you want to talk about manifesting or just achieving what you want to achieve, you need a certain level of confidence, because confidence is a measure of self-worth. And if your self-worth is high, then your income is going to go up. Your income, the success you see, your relationships, how well things go in your life is a direct reflection of your self-worth, which starts with your confidence. So just go to an event where you know nobody, and this is going to push you outside your comfort zone, where you have to actually talk to people. You have to actually put yourself out there. start conversations, you know, sign business deals and like sign clients in real life, whatever that might be for you. This is going to change your confidence because you're going to have to step up to rise to the standard of the occasion. Now, number 4, spend a full day completely alone. Now, in the long term, obviously you need people. Obviously, humans are social creatures and you need to thrive in a social environment, but testing yourself by spending some time alone and not always doing something, this is a test of character. So for just one day, have no plans at all, have nothing to do, no phone, no texting, no entertainment, no social media, just you and your thoughts. And the thing is, you will start to feel bored, you will start to feel agitated by being by yourself, and that's a big sign that you haven't yet embraced your own company. Because as soon as you can be alone and, you know, enjoy nature and just enjoy just chilling and being with your thoughts, as soon as you can do that, then everything else in life becomes easier. Funny enough, most people can't even sit with their thoughts for 15 minutes without it being too much and without having this need and compulsion to just do something else or distract themselves or cope or escape. If you are always in need to escape the present current moment, then you're always going to find yourself chasing something else or chasing a different level of fun, a different level of life, and just chasing, and you'll realize that the grass is never greener on the other side. So instead of trying to escape your own company, instead of trying to escape your thoughts, be with your thoughts for 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, and then eventually spend one day where you don't do anything. Spend a day alone and you will see how your reality changes. Number 5, spend a full day without external stimulation. No music, no podcasts, no YouTube videos, no social media, nothing. Not even any scrolling, just you and your thoughts. This is a dopamine detox essentially, and it really allows you to recollect perspective on your own life. It allows you to lower your dopamine baseline so you start to enjoying simple things again. So the people that join Discipline OS, new members, we tell them to do a dopamine detox. That is like step number 1 as you join. As soon as people enter, they do a 7-day or a 30-day, depending on what they want, dopamine detox. And this dopamine detox is not just a 0 to 100 thing. It's designed in such a way where it's actually easy to start and it's not that unsustainable. It's not that hard and overwhelming. You just start with a few steps and then you build up from there. And now this dopamine detox has been a life changer for so many people because people inside the community, they never realized how overstimulated they were. And also they never truly understood the impact that was having on their life, on their business, on their habits and their routines. You see, everything you want, the discipline, the habits, the routines, and everything you have to do just becomes so much easier when your dopamine is regulated. And doing something like spending a full day without external stimulation is going to change your dopamine system and help you be more disciplined and live a better life. Now, number 6 is journal for yourself. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know how big I am on journaling. Journaling is basically my version of therapy. It's what I do to, let go of past things that have been holding me back. It is my version of just like letting off some steam. And I know for a fact that journaling, just the simple act of writing something, anything on a piece of paper, writing down your goals or writing down the things that have bothered you today, or just writing down where you want to be. Writing down anything in journaling is such a powerful way to change your confidence, to change your mindset, to change your life as well. Journaling forces you to think clearly. And when you have high mental clarity, you are more disciplined. It is easier to manage your emotions. It is easier to manage your habits and your time when you know exactly how you think and you are aware of what you think. So write down what you actually want in life. Write down what makes you happy. Write down what you're avoiding. Just write down the things you need to do. You can journal. There's so many forms of journaling. You can do gratitude journaling where you write down a list of things that you are grateful for. You can write down your desires as if they already happened last week. You can write down a list of tasks. You can plan tomorrow today. You can write down what you've been avoiding and what's been on your mind. You can write down where you want to be in the next 6 months. This is a level of personal accountability that nothing else can beat. And by journaling what you think, you realize that the paper does not judge. So whatever you write down on this paper is going to hold you accountable and it's going to change your life. Number 7 is solve a real problem by yourself. So fixing something, planning a trip, learning something new, developing and building a high income skill. These are things that are really going to test, number 1, your patience, number 2, your intelligence, and number 3, your persistence. Resist the urge to instantly ask somebody else for help, or resist the urge to ask ChatGPT or something for help. It's become almost a bad habit. Like every time you have a simple question, instead of using your brain and thinking for yourself, you go and ask ChatGPT or you ask somebody. And I know that because I have been there as well. Like some simple question, like the most simplest thing that I just needed a minute to think, I would avoid thinking, avoid problem solving, and just go straight to Google or search or whatever. And that gives you the habit of having less critical thinking. You rely less on your thoughts because you don't need them anymore. And instead you just rely on, the resources you have. And yes, the resources you have should help you, but you shouldn't rely on them. So let your brain do some work, do problem solving, solve problems in your life by yourself. Number 8, spend a weekend pursuing one obsession. Just one thing you are excited about. It doesn't matter if you have a 9 to 5, it doesn't matter if you're self-employed. What matters is in the weekends, you have time for yourself. You have time to build an app, you have time to build a skill, to work on your business, to put in the hours and create content, build your personal brand, run a marathon. You need to be able to experience what deep focus feels like. You'll be surprised at how many people can go through months and even a whole year without even experiencing flow state and deep focus. But deep focus and flow state is a gift of life. It is one of those things that nothing else can replace. It is a skill, it is a craft. And when you can master deep focus and get really good at just focusing and doing the things you have to do, then life gets easier and you're able to achieve your goals pretty fast. You see, everything in your life requires focus. Building the business, scaling your income, building your physique and getting in good shape, and reading and developing your skill set, becoming a better communicator. Everything requires focus. Even the things that you don't think require focus require focus. Focus is the foundation alongside discipline to build the life you want, to build the success that you dream of. Now, let me ask you this. Just think about this. Why should you try not to escape your life when you could just build a life you don't need to escape from? All these things like doom scrolling, like procrastinating, like junk food, bad eating habits, and all the bad habits and stuff, they are a form of escapism, a form of coping. So instead of trying to fight against the bad habits and the things that are holding you back, the question is, why not build a life that you don't even need to escape from? That is the goal. So for one weekend, just pursue one obsession, pursue one craft. Give yourself permission to be obsessed with one single thing and to focus 100%. No multitasking, no context and task switching. Just pure focus on one thing and see how far you go. And you'll notice how much progress you make when you stop switching tasks and you actually just focus on one single thing. Number 9, keep a win to yourself. Gather a win, a small win, a big win, whatever that might be. And don't post about it. Don't tell anybody. Just keep that to yourself. Just sit with the personal enjoyment of knowing that you accomplished that and knowing who you are. I remember when I hit 1,000 subscribers, this was a long time ago. I did not really celebrate with anybody. I literally sat in a park by myself and I just contemplated on the journey and contemplated on that achievement. This was like years ago, I don't remember, but I just sat by myself and I just looked at these stars. It was just me by myself, and that was a character building moment because I was really able to just like reset, reflect, and I didn't rely on any external validation. You don't have to keep everything to yourself, obviously, but just try one win. Try having one win, small or big, and just keeping it to yourself and celebrating by yourself. This is just a test of like knowing what your reliance on external validation is. You just need to know that no matter what, if you remove all the external validation, that alone you are okay. That is a powerful feeling, and it also creates confidence and self-love. And by doing these things, especially this 9th thing, you will actually realize how much of your motivation comes from external validation instead of just coming from within. I had a friend who would go hiking just so he could actually post about it afterwards. And there's nothing wrong with sharing your life. It is just about not relying on that as a source of validation, as a source of fulfillment. And the big question here is, ask yourself, if nobody would see or know that you did that thing, would you still do it? That's a big question. Because if the answer is no, then you were just doing it for the wrong reasons. Instead, go for the hike, do that marathon, do that thing, go on events, do sports. Not so people can know that you're doing it, but just for yourself, just for your own enjoyment and passion and fulfillment. If nobody would ever know that you did that thing, would you still do it? And this ties into the last point, number 10. Choose solitude over validation. Learn to make decisions because you believe they're right, not because they impress other people. The second you stop needing approval is the second you become free. And that's what solitude should give you. Not loneliness, but freedom. But actual independence, right? There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. So the point of this video is not to say that you don't need people or you shouldn't spend time with people. It is just simply this point. The point that, yes, you should spend time with people, but you should also know deep down that you don't have to. That you don't need that external validation and that you are confident from within. That you don't rely on external validation to make you feel a certain way. And once you know that, you can do both and you can do whatever you like. It's just a matter of what you prefer. But it's just almost like a test for yourself to know how comfortable you are with being alone. And once you know that and you know that you can be comfortable with or without any external validation, that is when you win either ways. Now, if you're actually serious about changing your life, then don't let this just be another video that you watch. Any step, anything that you've been thinking about, any task that you've been avoiding, take that step, do that thing right now. And if you want to go a step further and surround yourself with people who are on the same path of self-improvement and they just want the best for themselves, then this is for you. The self-improvement journey is hard enough alone, so why do it alone? And anyway, you probably can't relate to everybody around you. You have that top 1% mindset, and when everybody else settles for average, you just want more, you want to achieve more. And that's exactly why we created our private community, Discipline OS. So click the link in the description below, that is our private community, Discipline OS, and join through there using code START at checkout. Your level of success never exceeds your level of discipline. Take care, and you got this.